The applause didn't stop when he stepped off the stage. It followed him down the aisle. And I realized, sitting there with my hands folded in my lap, that I had officially become the silence behind his success. I didn't cry. That surprised me. I just felt hollow. A few minutes earlier, he had stood under bright lights, smiling with practiced humility, thanking mentors, investors, friends. He spoke about resilience, about sacrifice, about believing in yourself when no one else does. He never said my name. Not once. I'm 34. I work as a project coordinator for a logistics firm in Denver. Practical job. Quiet life. We were together for 7 years. Long enough to build routines. Long enough to share passwords. Long enough for his dreams to slowly consume the space where we used to exist. When we met, he was a nobody with big ideas and no follow-through. I believed in him before belief was fashionable. I paid bills when his startups failed. I edited his presentations at midnight. I skipped vacations so he could attend conferences. Not because I was weak, but because I thought love meant building something together. Somewhere along the way, his ambition grew teeth. He started coming home later. Always networking. Always just one more thing. His phone never left his hand. He spoke in summaries instead of stories. When I asked questions, he answered like I was interrupting a meeting. Distance didn't arrive suddenly. It leaked in. The betrayal didn't come as a dramatic discovery. No lipstick on collars. No explicit messages. It was subtler. More humiliating. I found out through LinkedIn. A photo from a gala. Him on stage. Arm around a woman I'd never met. The caption praised their dynamic partnership and shared vision. She was a brand strategist. Younger. Polished. Public-facing. I scrolled through the comments. Congratulations. Power couple. Perfect match. I closed the app and stared at the wall, trying to remember when I'd stopped being visible. When I finally confronted him, it wasn't explosive. It was quiet in that dangerous way. I saw the post, I said. He sighed, already tired of me. You're reading too much into it. Who is she? A colleague. You're holding her like you hold someone you're proud of. That's when he looked at me, not angrily, not lovingly, but analytically. You don't understand this world, he said. You never did. The words landed heavy. Final. Later that night, after an argument that felt more like a performance review than a breakup, he said the line that still echoes. I never loved you the way you needed. You were convenient. You made things easier. Convenient. I didn't yell. I didn't throw anything. I just nodded, because something inside me finally broke cleanly. The public humiliation came months later at the awards ceremony, the one I shouldn't have attended but did anyway, hoping for closure I hadn't earned. When he thanked everyone who stood by me from the beginning, my chest tightened. I waited. Foolishly. For my name. It never came. After the applause faded, I found him backstage. You forgot someone, I said quietly. He barely looked at me. This isn't the time. When is? He paused. Then said, flat and final, your feelings don't matter to me anymore. That was it. No apology. No acknowledgement. Just a man walking away with a standing ovation and leaving me holding years of unpaid emotional labor. I went home and collapsed on the floor. Not dramatically. Just sat there, staring at the carpet, realizing I had built my identity around being useful to someone who outgrew gratitude. For weeks, I woke up unsure who I was without his goals. I reached for my phone to check his calendar out of habit. I caught myself thinking about how his meetings went. Then I stopped. Not because it hurt less, but because I was tired of disappearing. The turning point wasn't empowerment. It was exhaustion. I stopped explaining myself. Stopped hoping he'd realize what he lost. Stopped trying to rewrite my worth in someone else's narrative. I blocked him. Not out of anger, but necessity. I started therapy. Quiet walks. Saying no. I learned how often I had minimized myself to make him look taller. There was no revenge. No public exposure. His success continued. Mine didn't skyrocket. But something steadier happened. I became whole again. Months later, I passed a venue where he was speaking. I heard applause through the walls. And for the first time, it didn't sting. Because I finally understood this, applause doesn't mean truth. And silence doesn't mean failure. Sometimes, dignity is choosing not to correct the lie, because your peace doesn't need witnesses. If you're listening to this and you feel invisible in someone else's success story, hear me clearly. Love that requires erasure is not love. Support that demands silence is not loyalty. And walking away without being acknowledged doesn't mean you lost. It means you stopped shrinking. And that's not silence. That's freedom.